Hello, students, teachers, parents, history nerds. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Nutshelled History, where we lay out the facts, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Today, we are going to continue our Ancient Civilizations series by looking at the early Middle Ages. Don't forget that there's a link for a fill-in-the-blank worksheet in the description. I just ask that you like and subscribe. I apologize for any mispronunciations ahead of time. I do my best. Okay, let's go. As German invaders pounded the Roman Empire in the west, the Roman Emperor Constantine and his successors shifted their base to the eastern Mediterranean. Constantine rebuilt the city of Byzantium and renamed it Constantinople. Commanding key trade routes linking Europe and Asia, Constantinople grew wealthy from trade. In 330, Constantine made Constantinople the new capital of the Roman Empire. In time, the Eastern Roman Empire became known as the Byzantine Empire. The Byzantine Empire reached its peak under Justinian. Byzantine armies reconquered North Africa and parts of southern Europe. However, these victories were only temporary, as Justinian's successors later lost these lands. After a fire in 532, Justinian made Constantinople even grander. One of his most important achievements was rebuilding the Church of Hagia Sophia. Justinian also had a commission collect and organize the laws of Rome. This collection, which had a strong impact on future monarchs and legal thinkers, became known as Justinian's Code. It helped unify the empire, which Justinian ruled as an autocrat or with complete authority. His wife, Theodora, served as his advisor and co-ruler. After the Western Roman Empire fell, Western Europe was cut off from advanced cultures in Asia, overrun by invaders, and divided. The centralized Roman state and its powerful military were no longer available to maintain the rule of law and keep the peace locally. The period from 500 to 1000 is sometimes called the Dark Ages. However, it was a time when Greco-Roman, Germanic, and Christian traditions slowly blended to create a new, medieval civilization called the Middle Ages. In the early Middle Ages, Germanic tribes, such as the Franks, divided Western Europe. In 486, Clovis, king of the Franks, conquered Gaul, later to become France. Clovis followed his own customs, but also kept Roman customs and converted to Christianity. In the 600s, Islam began in Arabia. Muslims, or believers in Islam, created a huge and expanding empire. When a Muslim army crossed into France, Charles Martel and his Frankish warriors fought them at the Battle of Tours in 732. Muslims ruled in Spain, but did not advance farther into Western Europe. In 768, Charles Martel's grandson, also named Charles, became king of the Franks. He built an empire covering what are now France, Germany, and part of Italy, and he was known as Charlemagne, or Charles the Great. Later, the Pope crowned him the new emperor of the Romans. Charlemagne worked, in his 46-year rule, to unite his kingdom by fighting off invaders, conquering peoples, spreading Christianity, and further blending Germanic, Roman, and Christian traditions. He set up an orderly government, naming nobles to rule locally. Charlemagne regarded education as another way to unify his kingdom. He brought back Latin learning across his empire and encouraged the creation of local schools. After Charlemagne's death in 814, his sons battled for power and his grandsons split up the empire. About 900, nomads called Magyars settled in what is present-day Hungary. They overran Eastern Europe and moved into Germany, France, and Italy, but they were eventually pushed back. Also in the late 700s, the Vikings from Scandinavia began to invade towns along coasts and rivers in Europe. The Vikings were skilled sailors and explorers. They settled and mixed with local peoples in England, Ireland, northern France, and parts of Russia, bringing their culture with them. Now the recap. As German invaders hammered away at Rome, Emperor Constantine packed his bags and moved east, revamping Byzantium into the glitzy Constantinople in 330. It became the Beverly Hills of the Roman Empire, rich from trade and full of drama. Justinian later made it even fancier, rebuilding the Hagia Sophia and compiling Roman laws into Justinian's Code, basically the OG legal handbook. Meanwhile, Western Europe took a nosedive into the Dark Ages, where everything was chaotic, but at least cultures were blending. The Franks, led by Clovis, took over Gaul, while Charles Martel stopped a Muslim advance at Tours in 732. His grandson, Charlemagne, went full empire mode, uniting much of Western Europe and bringing back education like a medieval school principal. But after his death, his heirs squabbled, the Magyars raided, and the Vikings, history's most adventurous troublemakers, pillaged their way through Europe, settling wherever they pleased. There you have it, folks. That is the early Middle Ages nutshelled. Thanks for stopping by Nutshelled History. Let's go full empire mode on those like and subscribe buttons for me. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll see y'all next time on Nutshelled History.